Wow, the much expected analysis, the big dog analysis, round two, and what it do. Wow. This is from my most recent New York Winter Invitational tournament, right? So I'm playing the man, the myth, the legend himself, Grandmaster Mark Paragua. He was 2,600 FIDE at some point. Very, very strong. You can Google this man if you want to. Just Google him. You're welcome, right? And he a big fella. This is round two. I got the black pieces. I just came off the loss in round one. So, I got black to start all right. I lose round one in the Meraxi bind. I forgot. Make sure y'all go back and watch the video. I'm going to make sure I plug it so you guys can see it in the description. If you miss round one, make sure you watch. And then, so I'll take an L, black pieces round one. Round two, I'm playing a Grandmaster right after you take an L with, again, the black pieces here. So your strength and like your tenacity and your mindset needs to be very strong because you just had an L with black, and then you're getting black again against an even stronger player, Grandmaster Mark Paragua. Here, right, is crazy. So here we go, right? He hit me with knight f3. He hit me with knight f3. Now today, this is called Super Saiyan Tao. Why? Because shout out to my grandfather, Mike Cal Tao. Absolutely right. He say sack first, think later. Right? That's my style of play, and I just adopted the whole lifestyle of it. Right? So this is what we do. It's kind of those kind of games here. So this one's called Super Saiyan Tao. Shout out to Grandfather Tao. After knight f3, I go g6 here, which is a way of being very flexible. I have adopted a lot of modern, a lot of Pierce, and a lot of King's Indian and traditions of having g6 systems like this. I've been doing a lot. So for flexibility, I play g6 just to see if we go into e4. I'm comfortable actually, even going accelerated dragon. Right? You can do like anything from g6. So flexible. He plays g3. I'm like, cool. Bishop g7, d4. All right, cool. Knight f6, bishop g2, and now I'm like castle d6. We're already into King's Indian defense territory from g6, from modern. Just seeing what he's going to play. I'm a fan of the King's Indian. You already know this, KID for life, right? So here, playing King's Indian defense, we get the King's Indian setup. Looks very nice, and we're in the finchetto variation of the King's Indian. This is probably one of the hardest setups to face as black here in the King's Indian. It's extremely annoying and difficult to face because you don't get the real king side attacks. If you try to do the f5, g5, this kind of thing, you get steamrolled on this side of the board. It is not good. It doesn't work. So you can't go for this kind of setup in the finchetto setups of the King's Indian. Right now, I play right after d6. Usually you'll see c4. He did not play c4 yet. You can play knight c3 next. You also have a4, which kind of throws off players as well. But he plays b3, signifying I'm about to play the double finchetto setup, which is actually a very sharp, very good way to play for black. I know all the lines inside and out. I actually had an L against Persona Real in 2019 in actually the same line. Let me show you this. b3. Right, I always go c5 here. c5 is a good move, striking the center. Obviously, put some action here. What's up? 7-9. Or the 977. I mean, it says we in here sit. That's 11 months, bro. What up? Bruh. Good to see you, my guy. Thanks for that. So c5, right? c5 is on the board. And then bishop to b2. So bishop b2 happens. And then in this position, okay, chat, what do we do? Where's the move? What do you do next? After bishop to b2, how do you proceed from here? A lot of players get this wrong in King's Indian. A lot of players get this wrong in the double finchetto setups. Knight to d7 from Lucas. Which knight, by the way? Which knight are you looking at, guys? We got two knights to go to d7, so let's clarify. You would say knight f or knight b. Knight f or knight b. Knight d7, knight d7. You say knight b to d7 from ZT. Knight f. He put both of them. Knight b, no f. No, wait. Knight f, thanks for the follow. Knight c6 from D Price. The B knights, knight b to d7. Okay. Knight b to d7. Yeah, it's playable. I mean, these are so many playable moves here. In fact, the best that gives you the best play here is what I like to do here is pawn takes d4. After taking on d4, knight takes. Now watch this one. Actually, you say what's the best move here? Let me see. Let me turn engine on. Engine likes. Oh yeah, engine goes for the same line that I've been playing for forever, which is pawn takes d4, and then you play d5 right afterwards, right? And this is the engine likes this line the best. Takes and d5. Why do I play d5? Because he doesn't have any pawns in the center, so I take the advantage to doing that and playing d5. Yeah, I wasted the tempo, played d6 and d5, but now if he's not careful, I have e5 next. e4, I can steamroll him in the center. Knight c6. Bishop f5 or g4, queen d7, bring the other rook to this file as well. It's problems. So white needs to attack the center here. What does he do? He plays c4. Right after c4, your center is attacked. What do you do? What do you do about this? Do you protect it? With an e6 move, do you protect? Do we capture? Do we play e5? What move do you play now, chat? We have e5. E5, iGamerman says e5 takes from Lucas, like get rid of it. We got e5 and we got takes. E5 threaten the knight. Terror birds like take it. Okay, guys, these are both moves. So very good. These are both moves here. No, nothing garbage yet. Nothing garbage. Okay, so e5 and d takes are moves. Problem with e5, I didn't like this, is because after e5, knight f3, and you go e4, these become almost what you call overextended or hanging pawns, if you're familiar with the structure. If not, make sure y'all watching the YouTube video for a tournament guidebook. We got like 2 videos out of like 100 in there, in that playlist, to talk about hanging pawns. You can find it. You can just search it on my channel too. But hanging pawns, this is not technically the hanging pawn structure because this pawn can defend this, but this knight is blocking this. So these are kind of overextended. This one also is about to go at a moment's notice. You can't play d4, and this is about to go. You know, so but it's still very playable. So you have to be careful, right? You have to be very careful. You can easily support them. You can, but I've seen this be very bad. For after knight d4, maybe you take, right? And then you have to deal with this. You can't support this pawn, but then when do you move the knight? Where do you move the knight? What if we put pressure like knight c3, knight c3, e3, and queen c2 and hit this pawn? You have to chill here all day, which becomes a problem. Bishop f5. I mean, then you have a weakness on f5 after taking bishop h3 in many cases. Knight g4 and f3. Of course, you have to move out of the way of the fork, but this becomes a problem. You're giving yourself problems that are unnecessary, right? Unnecessary. That just gives your opponent lots of play for nothing. But you can do it though. It is playable. After d5, okay, so after d5, c4, and after c4, d takes c4. So I take, and now here, what do you think white does, right? Take it back, right? Take the pawn? I wish he would have taken the pawn. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I really wish he would have taken the pawn back. He played this move, knight a3 right here. Bro. This right here is a very scary pawn sacrifice. I lost to this. I remember I've studied so much King's Indian defense theory, and I was mad. I was think about this, guys. Like I want you to be in my situation, like in my shoes here. Think about this. You study like 5 different books on an opening, chess opening, you know everything, the insides, the outside, you know everything about these variations. You see this, you hype, right? And not in one of those books do you ever see this move right here. You never see it. Out of all the stuff you study, you'll never see this. So when I got hit with this in 2019, I was pretty pissed. I'm not even gonna lie. I was pretty mad. When I got hit with this OTB, I was like, bro, how is this a move? Bruh. I ain't never seen this in my life. Like, why is this a move? Why is nobody showing me this? Like, I done read so much stuff, and this was never there. I was very mad. I was very mad, dog. I was telling you, I was pissed. And then I found this later. So now when Mark, 2 years later, actually, 2 years later, 3 or whatever. But as Mark comes through and plays this with knight a3, I was ready. I'm gonna tell you the least, I was ready. And now here, I had a few routes. I was like, okay, I was thinking about that game I lost because I'm like, dang, I lost that game in 2019 against Persona Rayo. He's an international master. I did lose the game. So I'm like, okay, I lost it, whatever. But let's see what we gonna do. I was thinking of e5, correct? Very nice. I was thinking of the e5 move. There's one move where I was thinking knight d7. And I was like, man, you know what? You know what, Mark? You know what, Mark? Man, I'm taking that. You're gonna have to show me, big dog. You're gonna have to show me, big dog. I don't even care, right? And I was livid. I was mad because I'm like, I don't have to take this. But look, let me show you what happens actually the other way. Knight a3 is not one that you see a lot. If they play knight a3, if you ever reach this position, number one, either you, depending on your rating, either they are an engine or you playing somebody extremely strong, because this move sacrifices a pawn for rapid development, right? When you can just take the pawn back, white says, go ahead and have another pawn, right? That's very, very, very advanced. Very advanced. So you need to be aware of this if you ever see this. What you're going to see from most players is pawn takes c4. I was expecting this. I was hoping for this from Mark. Because why after pawn takes queen b6? I mean, I know these lines inside and out. You have queen c1 which runs until I think the rook d8 line, which is after rook d8, they go knight b3, and you go bishop e6 or knight c6. I mean, like bishop here. You have knight c6, rook c8, constant pressure, no problems. Queen's kind of misplaced on c1, not looking good. My favorite of this line is after queen b6, queen b3. After queen b3, instead of rook d8, you hit him with this nasty move, knight d7. Right, this is I've actually hit many GMs in this line, not even online, right, online with this in blitz games. But I was able to face this particular precision. I know inside and out. This bishop is hitting the knight. Many people hang this and forget this is hanging, right? So a move that happens is like rook to d1. Then after this, you go knight to c5 first, or is it knight c6? I think it's knight c6. Yeah, knight c6. Knight c6 hit the knight. If knight takes, you take on b2. Boom, right? Knight takes c7, king here. I think knight takes first, then rook takes d7. You take here, queen takes here, pawn takes, and you get a position like this, right? Where I'm just up in exchange. I'm also hitting c4 in many cases. It's a gross line. Also, if they do this way, there's another line. It's like if e3, knight c5. Queen takes. Is it bishop or knight takes? You can't take here. You have to take with the bishop. Bishop takes. Then knight c3, knight a4, knight takes, rook takes, I'm hitting c4. Still pinned here, this is a problem, and bishop to b2. I also have the bishop here, this comes here, I'm winning, right? Black's doing great. So I'm definitely ready for this from Mark, but he doesn't go for this, he goes for the ridiculous, I'm advanced, I'm a GM, knight a3 move, which is ridiculous. So he plays knight a3, and I'm like, dang, Mark, dang. Man, so I'm like, you know what? Let's go for it. So I take on b3. I take, he takes on b3, and now I go where? Where do I go? Where do I go now, Jack? Where do I go? Black to move here. Black to move. Where do you go? Now, I'm going to tell you one thing. When I looked at the theory, I actually kind of played this off the head because I remember games. I just remember games and general ideas in this particular variation. The other one I just showed you, obviously, I know it inside and out. But this one is one that's very rare. It doesn't happen a lot, and because it doesn't happen a lot, you have to be a little bit of creative. You have to be a little creative, and also, kind of off the head in a way as well. Queen to b6. Queen b6 is very playable. I wasn't the biggest fan of it because I did give up the pawn, and I remember in the Persona Rayo game, I actually covered it on YouTube about when this position happened. I remember having a game where I did trade the queens off, and because he was rapid developed, like he was able to get the pawn back with compensation. So I was not trying to trade queens. I was like, you know what? This game, I'm going to play this differently. I'm not going to trade queens. Knight c6 is, I think, a move. I forgot in the theory in there because you have bishop h3 in the end. Like, I think this is a move. And after takes, bishop takes, you have bishop h3. And also bishop e6 too. So, I mean, you give the pawn back, right? You give the pawn. And it's very playable, guys. You literally can play this. You can give the pawn back. But what I went for here is what Christo says is knight to d7. Knight b to d7, very nice. Mamusi, right? Knight to d7, because I want to go knight c5 in here. I want knight b6 and stuff like that. And then I got a little creative. Watch this. Mark played a very logical move. Rook to c1, bro. Right? A very logical move. Put the rook on c1. Very logical move, right? And what do you do here in this position, guys? Queen b6, I'm assuming. Maybe you got some queen b6 action, e5. I mean, engine says knight e8. Bruh. Okay, but okay, big fella. Wow. And actually, I played move number 3 here on the engine, which is pretty nice. And I found move number 3 here, still giving it half a point advantage to white. I'm up a pawn. That tells you a lot about compensation. Half a point advantage to white. And I'm up a pawn. Knight to g4. Lucas, knight g4. Can't we take the b7 pawn? You can. You gotta be careful though. Rook b8 in some cases, knight c5. But it's black to move right now. If it's white to move, then maybe bishop takes b7. In that last move, he couldn't take on b7 because of this tactic, knight c5. Right? You could do knight c5. You could also play bishop takes b7 first, and then rook b8. And then this is nasty here. Knight c6. Oh wow. Oh, that's cool. Oh yeah. Man. That's great. Wow. She's the little fork. Man, you 100% garbage. I'm about to take this, and then you're going to take this, and I'm going to just take this one too. Why not? Take this one on the way out. I'm getting everything. I'm getting all of your pieces here. Knight c6, take on e2 as well. This is not a move. I mean, everything. You lost everything in a matter of seconds. in a matter of seconds, right? So it actually doesn't work. After takes, I go knight d7. So bishop takes b7 is a fatal blunder here. Do not just take a pawn because you see a pawn. So rook to c1, and he goes for the file, which is very good here. I mean, it's beautiful. Why not put the rook? I mean, look at it from white's point of view. Flip, boom. Look at this, a rook on an open file. Why not? Shoot, rook c2, rook something. I mean, you got pressure. Yeah, I'm down a pawn, but does it feel like white's down a pawn? Not really. Not really. You got space, right? And development. Makes sense. Okay, black to move here. Instead of rook to b8 or knight to e8, I played move number 3 on the engine with queen a5. Somebody tell me, what on earth does queen a5 actually do? Why am I putting the queen on a5? What on earth is this about? Looks like a strange move. Because it is a strange move. But I had an idea. And it's an idea that, of course, is in the King's Indian, in the Finchetto variations, right? I kind of went deep here, just understanding all the lines I played before, what kind of games I like to play. I know in the Finchetto variations, there are some ways that are, you know, underrated, old-fashioned, lines that can be revived, and etc. So I played queen a5 with the intention to do something else. Fighting for c5, swinging it, queen a5 to set up knight c5. Dang, y'all got some good ideas, man. Sheesh, I can't be pushing the garbage button all the time. Garbage. It's crazy. Knight c5, that's good. Y'all getting good out here. That's nice, chat. That's nice. Proud of y'all. In fact, that is exactly right. I'm just trying to swing over here. I'm also trying to be super annoying. Like there's some cases like I was looking at, you know, what if he wanted to stop me? I was looking at queen b5. If queen b5, I was like, I wonder if I could get away with this. I mean this. Bruh. I was prepared to play this. And you know, the engine is like, yeah, you can play it. Yeah, it's straight. Like, yeah, you good. Like literally the engine's like, no, this playable, bro. This playable. It's playable because I'm hitting this, so I want to play stuff like a6. So I was thinking if you play like e3, watch this, e3, and I had this all in my mind. I was going to play a6, and then here, and I was going to go back to a5. Bro, I had this. I was prepared to do this. I was prepared to do this, right? I was so ready to do this. I was so ready to do it because I played queen a5. My intention was to go over here and just do stuff. I don't know what yet, but of course, in the King's Indian Finchetto's variations, a lot of times you can see in high-level GM games that you can do this. You could like go over here and just do stuff. I don't know what yet, but just do something over there on that side of the board. So I was thinking I was like, what if he tries to cut me off? So if he goes queen b5, I'm like, dang, let me go queen d2. Right, because I'm hitting this, and also I was thinking like, what if he tries this move, rook c2, understanding that I'm trying to play a6, right? And because e3 does nothing. No, so this is a tempo move, boom, 100% move. My coach likes to call it that, right? Tempo hitting me, boom. So now I was thinking, what move was I thinking? Queen h6. Oh my god, what is this? And then I was like, but he gonna play like bishop c1. He gonna play bishop c1, and I was gonna be annoyed here because now I have to trade queens, and I wasn't really trying to trade queens. Like I really wasn't trying to trade queens. I just wasn't. But I was like, okay, what up? I'm up a pawn. Like whatever. I'm up a pawn. I wasn't trying to trade, bro. I really wasn't. I wasn't trying to trade queens here. Like so here, this was a strange line, rook c2, and I was like, dang, can I do anything else? I think I was gonna try the a6 option anyway because this gets scary. Like look at this. Now I got this pressure, and like yeah, you could take on b5. But I mean, I like this. Like, I got this constant pressure here. Bishop e6, maybe. Like, it's whatever. It's whatever. He didn't go queen b5. I was happy. I was literally happy, bro. I was literally happy, dog, that he didn't do this. So he played rook here. And I'm like, oh, that's a logical move, my guy. He's stopping queen d2. But I didn't care about this. I wasn't trying to go here anyway, big dog. So when he played queen d2, I said, let's go. Let's go, damn, big fella. He's trying to... Let's go. He's trying to swing. Well, let's swing. Let's go. So he go knight a to b5 and says, show me something. He felt like, what are you doing? And this makes sense. Like he puts his knight, the worst piece, it was on a3, he puts it closer to the center or something else. Also knight c7, knight d5 maybe as an idea. Here, what do I do next, chat? What do you do next? Black to move. You got moves. You got many moves here. What do you do? I chose number 2 on the engine. Number 1 is actually something else. Pretty nice. Knight g4, mate 2. Okay, okay. In fact, it's not mate 2 at all, Lucas. F9, knight g4. If I do anything else, let's just see. Knight g4, if knight f2, right, and then I take it, like, I mean, I'm not mated. You know, it's not mate. Maybe I could price sack here or something, but it's not mate. So don't get that twisted. That is not checkmate. Black to move, though. King's Indian. 95, preparing bishop h3 from Cristo. Yeah, that's not me, bro. Knight c5. Yeah, knight c5. In fact, very nice, third bird. Knight c5 is move number 1 on the engine. Move number 1. Right. Okay, knight c5. That's a very nice move. But I played move number 2, which was 95. And the reason why I went 95 is to literally look. I don't know what's going on right now. I have no idea what's going on right now. Bruh. But Grandfather Tao says sack first, think later. And he also be saying take him into the forest where 2 + 2 = 5. Right? So I'm like, cool. I don't know what's going on. But I mean, I got pieces and I just have pieces over here. And they're aiming on this side of the board. So we will say, Moody told you to say that. Can't take all the credit. Yeah, Moody actually getting nice. She actually be playing good chess out here. 95. So actually after 95, he goes f4. And I'm like, oh, snap. Like f4. Wow. Wow. f4. He hits my knight. He hits my knight. I'm playing a Grandmaster. Strong GM, by the way. Like, Paraguay, no joke. And he plays f4. Do you retreat? Or do you go forward knowing that you're about to get attacked again? You need to figure this out. Let me tell you this right now. If you go knight g4, he probably will push h3. And if he plays h3, you're going to probably have to move this knight again. So what do? You are in a dilemma right now. You are in a dilemma right now. Okay? You're in a dilemma. Knights are for sacking. Nice. Castling is for betas. Okay. Okay. Yeah, motivated Mark. This is actually round 2. Right now, we're covering right now. In this position, what do you do with this knight? What do you do with this knight? Knight g4 from third bird. Knight f5. Wow. Knight to f5. Right there. Just move it. Just slide it over 2 fingers and hit the clock. Wow. Knight f5. Bruh. Okay. All right. Knight d7. Knight c6. g4, h6. He says g4, h6, f5, g3. So he's going this route. He's saying go g4, go here, go here, go here. That's the route. Knight f5, sign the papers right now. Maybe just let him open the king. That's the path. Knight g4, threat mate. Okay, cool. So guys, if you said knight g4, you're correct. Pat yourself on the back. Pat yourself on the back. Knight g4 for the score. Okay. Okay. Because after h3, right, we're going to retreat, right? Knight h6, right? That's the idea. Because knight h6 hits h3. Knight h6, you know, maybe just and take open king. That's just funny. Yeah, but bishop takes h3, right? This is the next move, chat. Do you guys agree? Is this what we're doing next? What's the next move, chat? Your knight's hanging. Okay. You are playing a Grandmaster. You are playing Mark Paraguay. And your knight is hanging. What are we going to do about this right now? Gamer says knight h6, knight e6. Okay, oh, e6. Shoot, man, you nice out here, Turbird. That was probably your answer. e6. Wow. e6. e6. Okay, nice, very nice, very nice. Knight e4. Okay. Knight e4. Leave it probably. Knight to g5. Knight g5. Where are these? Like, guys, you need to. I want you to think twice before you say something in this chat. Bruh. Garbage. Oh my goodness, this is getting gross right now. Garbage. Knight to g5. You know your knight can't go to g5. You know that, right? Your knight cannot go to g5 at all, or f5 at all. How does the knight move? Right? How does the knight move? Oh my goodness. Queen takes h3. Okay, h6. Right. Man, he's like just trying to cheat. Everybody trying to cheat. Go knight f5, bro. Bro, what? Bro, what? Maybe in them unrated tournaments it might work. All right, guys, here it is. So here's where we move the knight. We move the knight nowhere. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah. And when I play e5, number one, okay, I'm not gonna lie, I was sweating. I was like, you know, and, you know, if you look at me, I'm like, I'm just chilling, you know, I'm like not saying anything. Like, it's just you know, it's poker face, right? It's poker face. Like you're just not doing anything. Poker face. But on the inside, I'm like, bro, I'm sacking a piece right now on Mark Paragua. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I don't know what's about to happen. This about to be real good. Oh, this about to be real bad. Garbage. I don't know what this about to be, right? But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? Shout out to Grandfather Tao. This is Super Saiyan Tao. What would Tao do, right? What would Grandfather Tao do in this position? He wouldn't back that boy up. He would go E5 in this position. So I say E5 and we live, right? And then here it go. So he didn't take it. And here's what happens on takes. Let me show y'all some lines. This is what the Jedi been doing. Shout out to my coach, right? We've been doing a lot of training here. After this happens, right? Takes, knight takes. Now, here's the beauty of this. After knight f3, who can tell me what the line was? What did Canty, the Jedi, calculate here? What did we calculate? After knight f3, I mean, okay, and he's looking at you like, okay, and? What did you do, my guy? Like, shoot, you didn't do anything now. What is this? What is this, chat? What do we do next? E4, E4, E4. E4, look at that. The chat is correct. E4 for the score. Jeez, hit the knights. And knights. Have a good night, right? Oh, man. E4 is looking very, very strong, right? You can get it. But you also, you know, I have bishop E6 first, which actually is the better move because I like bishop E6. In fact, bishop E6 is better. Bishop E6 is much better because then after the queen moves, it depends on where the queen moves. I had lines like if queen B4, but I mean E4 is still playable here right now, right like this E4. So he could take this. If he takes here, then I just get the piece back with bishop takes B2. I'm looking good, right? If he takes on B2, I had this line here of like, oh, actually, let me show y'all this one. I want to show the queen C2 one. This one was a beauty. So after bishop E6 hit the queen first, this tempo matters because the queen sometimes takes away the E3 square. What I'm talking about is this right here. If queen C2, if bishop E6, queen C2, for instance, E4 immediately, boom, hit that. Let's say he wanted to take on G7. Bishop takes G7, queen check here, and I don't even take back. I just check here with the fork leading to almost mate, basically. It's nasty. So this is a nasty line that I looked at. After bishop E6, he has to be careful of where he puts the queen at, actually, right? So queen A4 is also a possibility. I go E4, hitting the knight. If bishop takes here, I can take on F3 first, with the idea of if you take on F8, I check here, and then you're mated here, and there's a mate in this line. Nasty. So go back again. So E4, this is hanging. You have two pieces hanging, right? Two pieces hanging here. So if a move like queen takes E4, again, that runs into bishop takes, or queen takes B5. Nasty stuff here. Very nasty. So after bishop takes, pawn takes. So the line I looked at the most here is he has to take back. If he takes this way, again, mate, right? Mate here, mate right here. So instead of that, there was pawn takes, which after this line, I had queen H2. And my idea here, this is where I stopped calculation. After I take on G7, I was going to take on G7. Oh, not here because there's knight E3 now. So let's go back again. Let's look at the correct move. Bishop E6, queen A3, which is a GM move, but I'm playing AGM. I mean, come on now, right? He's going to find this move. So let's look at the best move because it stays here to cover knight E3, right? And it also still defends this. So in some cases, when bishop takes, he can take back with the queen. Very like five-head stuff here. So after bishop E6, he goes queen A3, I go E4. Then same line, bishop takes, I take here, threatening all the mates. He takes with the pawn, queen check, king here. If taking with the queen, there's a big difference because queen takes as this is defended. So now after check here, wait, check. No, it's king. Oops, sorry. It's king takes. I should be still good here. Knight C7. This one's strange. This one's a little strange. But I think I'm still okay because I'm not losing material. Is that right? I think, let me see the material count. I'm very curious. Like, there's so many lines here, guys. You could definitely get lost. All right, queen takes. What's the material count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so I'm not down a piece. Right. I remember this. Queen takes. I'm not down a piece at all. So this worked out. Like, I'm not down a piece. And this has worked out, right, for me. So if he plays pawn takes allows him to take this in this line. Check here. Right, I can't have knight E3 anymore because the queen on A3 again saves everything, right? So I have to take with the king. After king takes, pawn takes G4, and I looked at this and I said, this is the end of the calculation. Yes, I'm down a piece, but he's defending like the whole game. He's defending, like, look at this. Look at your king. Let's flip the board, right? Engine gives this plus 2.5 right now. They like, yeah, you up a piece, you know, but look at your king. Like this is, I mean, you do this grandfather towel for real. If you put in grandfather towels games, you see this all the time with plus twos and plus all this other stuff for your opponent, right? But look at this, bishop g4. I mean, bishop h3 is coming. I'm just going to bring a rook to the file and really just hope for the best here. G3 is always hanging in many cases. I mean, I don't know, right? It's 2 + 2 = 5 stuff, like Casting and Sorbeta says. 100%. In fact, right here, the engine says I have a better move. Instead of king takes, was queen takes g3. But I didn't like this because I did look at this threatening mate. But he has this, and the queen is defended. And then they want me to do this, right? And I'm like, what? Bro, are you kidding me? Garbage. This is gross. Like, I mean, yeah, I get this, but like, I would rather have the queen on the board than not have the queen on the board in this position. And this is what the engine said was best. But I'm not a fan of that. I saw this because I saw the knight was defending the queen, so I didn't go for this. I would go for this line and then hope for the best here. Hopefully he can't defend. Bishop h3 being a huge threat with rook e8 stuff, maybe trying to gobble these pawns. I had all this down in my head, 5-head stuff. The man was ready. The man was ready. Okay? None of this happened though. So we coming back. None of this happened. I go knight takes, he go knight f3. Right. Actually, sorry. Instead, after f4, after f4, bro, after f4, knight here, h3, e5, he goes knight f3. So he doesn't take it at all. He says, all right, Canty, I believe you, big fella. He moved the knight back to f3. All right, chat. Your knight's hanging. Once again, your knight is hanging. Your knight's hanging. You don't have these tricks anymore. I mean, you take on f4, maybe try to keep it. You know, that might not work this time. Maybe you go e4. I mean, this is a little bit strange now. A little bit different than what we had before. So it's why it's black to move. What do we do now? Playing big boy moves, says Perpicante. It's crazy. So after e5, or after knight f3, what happens? Bishop e6 from Elim the Dream. Bishop e6. Okay. Like it. I like it. Bishop e6, e4, knight e4. Ooh. Okay. e4 steal. Bishop e6 once again. Bishop e6. All right. So let me tell y'all something. In fact, move number 1 on the engine is bishop e6. Wrap it up. Hey, look, chat. Bishop e6 is actually move number 1. Shout out to you. But move number 2 is actually what I played right here. I looked at him. I looked at Mark. Okay, this was in my head because I wasn't looking at that man. I was only looking at the board because this was a scary game. Oh my goodness. But this move right here was one of those that, like, you know, Tau. I went Super Saiyan Tau. This was the moment. In fact, this is like, you know, when you're powering up and your power level is trying to get to 9,000. When you play e5 instead of moving the knight. And then when you get into full Super Saiyan mode, when you're doing all the screaming and stuff, right? And then just the veins start all popping out and stuff. This is exactly what happened with Super Saiyan Tau as I played this move right here. Knight to f2. I'm out. I'm out. I'm going home. We out of here. Y'all have a good one. Y'all have a good one. Play knight f2. I played knight f2. Bruh. Played knight f2. Knight f2. So he has to take this. He has to take it. He has to. He has to take it, right? Because the h3. After king takes f2. After king takes f2, what's the follow-up? What is the follow-up here? What is the follow-up? Let's get the follow-up in the chat here. 94. Beautiful. 94. Yeah, I was begging him to take. I'm like, take the knight, bro. He didn't take the knight. Take the knight, bro. He didn't take the knight. Take the knight, bro. Bruh. He didn't. And finally, he took the knight. And then 94 check. Boom. Hit him here. Checked him. And then king g1. And then I took on g3. So now I'm down a piece. But I did just get a second pawn now for the piece. Because remember, I'm up a pawn. So now I get a second pawn. And I'm threatening knight e2. I'm also threatening bishop takes h3. And I'm kind of threatening here. But I don't really want to take here yet. But knight takes g3. So I took another pawn. And this is threatening a fork. And this definitely is going to be enough compensation. And bishop takes h3 is coming as well. So I'm getting how much is a knight worth? 3 pawns, right? So if I can get 3 or 4 pawns, this is my mindset. If I can get 3 or 4 pawns for this knight and his king is busted, I have enough compensation. So this is something to understand. This is Jedi material, studying with the Russians in the hyperbolic chamber. So after knight takes g3, right, rook to e1. He goes rook here and he defends e2. Stops it, defends e2, right? Now we need to do something. I get my pieces out. I go bishop e6, hit the queen, right? With the same kind of lines that we looked at before. And he goes queen a3, finds the GM move, of course, because he's a GM, right? So queen a3. He goes queen a3. And now after queen a3, I'm like, all right, it's time to cash in. Bishop takes h3. I take that, boy. Thanks for the prime, Dan Vitch. Shout out to all the primers. Y'all can sub free with Twitch Prime. Let's go, Dan. Thank you. Appreciate it. Bishop takes h3. So I take this on h3. Right? And remember the eval bar taking some dives and yeah, it's crazy, right? Bishop takes h3, but right now, Engine says that this is closer to equal. Crazy enough. Crazy enough. Best move was bishop takes e5, which he finds. Bishop takes e5, obviously. And then here, I thought for a while. I was like, do I go knight f5? Do I go knight e4? Right, because I was looking for mating ideas. Let me show you off a few lines here. I didn't like knight f5 because he had this knight h2 move, I thought. I thought he had knight h2 here. And if knight h2 happens, well, in fact, I'm actually winning here. Wow, that's crazy. Takes, and just takes, and queen g5, king f2, and then go rook f to e8, and apparently it's already -3. It's just crushing. Like, what on earth? I didn't see this. I mean, I didn't think this was crushing. How the engine was like, yo, this is crushing. This is game over. But okay. I just didn't like knight f5. This wasn't convincing it to me that I was crushing. I didn't feel like that. It didn't feel like that. Knight f5 was not the move for me, but knight e4 I really liked. And this is where I went. I went knight e4. The idea here, guys, is that there's so many things. If bishop takes g7 happens, well, first, what move do we play here? Let's see if you guys can find the sequence of moves here. See if you guys can find it. If you've been doing your puzzle rush, if you've been training, if you've been doing any training at all, it's going to come out right here, right now. What move do you play? Black to move. Queen g4, okay. I see queen g4, bishop takes g2, down a piece, but white's on b5, still ain't playing. Exactly, right? That's still here. Take the bishop, queen g4. We got another one. Look at this, queen g4s. I like it. Bishop takes g2s. Bishop takes g2. Okay, I see it, chat. I see it. Another one, bishop takes g2. Queen g4, bishop takes g2, guys. It's all in the chat. It's all in the chat. So in fact, queen g4 actually is not right, guys. It's an error. It really hurts because they have this move, knight h4, right? Knight h4. Oh my goodness. And I was looking at this in my calculations. Why does this work? Like, oh, bro, just take the knight. Just take the knight. And sign the score sheet on the way out. Like, sign the score sheet too, my guy. Boom. And you're like, oh, snap, I didn't even see that. Oh, I got to check. Oh, I'm good. Oh, let me check him. And then, like, all your pieces hanging. This hanging, this hanging. Like, what are you doing? This is hanging. This is hanging. You have lost the game. You can just go home now. Like, you're done. Bruh. You're done. This is it. Try again next year. Try again. All right, it's over. It's over. That simple, that quick. You have to be very accurate. So at 90, queen g4 does not work at all. In fact, you have to go bishop takes g2, which is the move I chose. Bishop takes g2. Shout out to you with bishop takes g2. Shout out to you. Okay, I see you. I see that work. It is bishop takes g2 with the idea of now if bishop takes, then there's mate obvious here. Queen h1 is mating. King can't go anywhere, so this is mate, right? So bishop takes g2 forces king takes g2, but now after king takes g2, watch this. I have checks, queen check, and if he goes king f1, what happens? Somebody find it right now. Somebody find it right now. Black to move. Somebody find this right now. I need you to find it, chap. I need you to find it. I need you to find it. See, knight d8. The knight can't even go to d8. Oh my goodness. Dang. And then he said, never mind. Oh, whatever. Hey, man, you know, if you need somebody to talk to, you know, we got people on speed dial in the Discord. Man, you're going to need somebody. Queen h3 check. That's right. Queen h3 check is the move, chat. Let's go. That's right. Check is the move. Oh my goodness. Forcing the checkmate. And then you go here in queen g3. If you go to the corner, knight, have a good night all day, all night. I mean, night, right? And it's over. Checkmate with the knight. So after king f1, queen f2, and what do you do? It's a mate here. Mate as well. Another mate. Beautiful, beautiful mate here. So after bishop takes g2, right? Well, actually, sorry. After 94, 94, he played bishop takes h3. Which was different. And I'm like, dang, I ain't really calculate that one. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. Like, I didn't really even calculate this move. I didn't think that it was, I mean, it wasn't gonna be bad, but I'm like, I didn't really think he was gonna do this. So I took back. Oh, obviously, you have to take back here. Not really a pin going on, but he played knight h2, trying to get this thing going. A quick side note here: knight g5 does lose the queen g4 check, and I mean if you go like king f1, I could first things first, I could just take on g5 or e5, get my piece back, right? But that's just not what he wanted to do, kind of at all. So okay, after knight h2, I went queen h4 to go queen f2 check. So if I blunder this way, right, I get the queen now. Wow, this is equal, unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, I guess he has two pieces, but this is equal according to the engine. Dang. I mean, but I mean, I'm just saying no equal. I'm like, I'm about to win this game, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. Bruh. I'm winning this, bro. It's black. I'm winning this game. But okay, so I play queen h4. Mark goes queen to e3. It's up to you now, guys. You need to find this sequence to be correct here. You need to find this to be correct. Black to move. Black to move. I'm still down a piece, by the way. I'm down a piece. I'm down a piece. Remember, I sacked that piece. The engine can literally hold losing position here, right? Knight g3. Okay, we do have a knight g3 here. Guys can't see. Thanks, Lolly. Yeah, this is one of my favorite games right here of all time. This game right here. Definitely got some wheels turning for me after this game. Take the bishop. Bishop takes e5. D takes. Rook e8. Knight c3. Takes. Oh, nice. King h1. Okay. And king h1 got f8. Nice. Amazing chess. That's a garbage line. 100% garbage. And the reason why I say that is because that's just the line from the game. Like if bishop takes e5 did happen. The line from the game. Pawn takes, right? And then rook e8. This is the whole thing that happened. Rook e8, and then rook takes e5. This is happening. Knight c3, which is what Mark played. I play rook takes e5. He takes. Queen f2, and I'm not trading. You must be out your absolute mind if you think I'm about to trade in this position. So I checked. He goes king h1. And then when we get this position, I double the rooks. Check this out. Look at this. Look at this position. I'm saying that, hey, first off, I sacked that piece, remember? Pieces, the knight is worth how many pawns? 3. How many pawns am I up? 3. So I actually have equality. And his king looks crazy here, so the sack is justified. The sack is justified. Shout out to Grandfather Tao. So after rook f to e8, you know, I'm on Super Saiyan Tao right now. I'm like, shoot, let's get it. Rook f to e8 and we great. He go rook c7. Okay, don't block with your face. This is a family channel. Come on now. So I go rook to f4 to defend and also attack at the same time. Queen to g2, trying to get trade. I'm like, none of those, my guy. So I go queen a5. I'm trying to be forcing here, make him do something. Nice little fork. He goes rook c to c1. And then this move right here, I really like. This was one of my favorite moves to play here. Besides knight f2, this one was probably the second best. I think, well, okay, e5 was already ridiculous. Like sacking a piece, e5, then knight f2, and then this move here was very nice. Black to move, I was very nice about this move. I like this move a lot, I think. What do you play here? Was queen d5 instead of rook f4? That's a good question. Let's go back. Queen d5 instead of rook f4. You can't, oh, queen d5. Yeah, queen d5, you could just block it, though. And with knight f3 or queen f3. So I wasn't a fan of it because you could just block it. Rook f4, queen g2, queen a5, rook c, c1. And then here it is. I play rook e to e4 here, guys. Look at this move, boy. Dang. My idea here is to do this right here. All I'm trying to do is, let's just say, let's make some moves. Like rook here. All I'm trying to do is this right here. This is all I want to do. And then sack. And then bring the rook here. And because I have these extra pawns, yes, you have the 2 rooks, but so what? Like I got the extra pawns, and I'm probably going to pick these off eventually or something like that and trade, and I'm just winning. I'm just kind of winning here. So I'm just kind of winning a lot, right? Okay, so, all right. Here, find yourself getting in time pressure. You just gotta manage your time better, but I mean, it's easier said than done. And I don't have any content on that yet because that is one that people always have problems with too. But management is opening. You gotta know openings. Like your openings need to be right. Spend a certain time in the openings and this and that. It's experience, bro. Everybody's a little bit different because you see Grishik still gets in time trouble, right? But plays some of his best chess in time trouble. So it depends. Every player's a little different in time trouble. It's experience. Rook e to e4 and then e3. So he plays e3 and then I bring the rook over, right? h4, pin for the win. He goes check. I go king g7. He goes check. I go king h6 and says, let's go. And then he goes rook f1. And right here, I am winning. I am winning right now. I know this. I feel it. There's something. I just need to close this out. Black to move here, chat. What move are you supposed to play? Now, this is not the move that I played, but what are you supposed to play? And I did see this. I saw this, but for some reason, I played a different move, and I thought that he was able to get out of it. I missed something. But let's see if you can find it here. +5 on the eval. Queen d5, b5, finish it. Queen d5, sack the rook. Queen to d5. Rook takes h2. Okay. All right, man. Rook takes h2. That's legit. Rook sack. Look at y'all in the rook sack. I'm loving it. Come get this garbage real quick. That's disgusting. This don't do nothing. Yes, that's terrible. Get the man out of here. Queen takes h2. Queen takes, and then what? King g7, and like, oh wow. Oh wow. Block with his whole face, Moody. I mean, get him, Moody, please. Oh my goodness. He off today. He off. Rook takes h2. It's not a move. Blocking with his absolute whole face on national television. Get him out of here. Queen d5 is the move. Is the best move. Queen to d5. Absolutely. Yes. Queen to d5 is the move here. Because now, and this is what I saw. I saw queen g2. And queen g2 is so beautiful because I have rook takes h2. Oh my goodness. Wow. Bro. Wow. Turn up. Look at this move. Because if he takes with the king, then I check and I pick off the queen. Sorry, no. This is, I checked with the other way. This is what I missed. I thought that I had to check here, but I could check here, which is even better. I mean, I could do either or, but this one's the better one. If he blocks, I go rook h4. And if he goes here, I pick off the queen this way. Or pick off the queen this way. Right. But for some reason, I thought I had to check, and I thought this... I looked at this, and I was like, oh, I'm losing. I was like, oh, no, I'm not doing this, because, like, I lost the rook. But the best move is queen e6, and then rook g4, which is... This is too many moves. If this ain't right, this ain't right. I don't like this. I didn't feel it, but I missed that I could go queen check. So in fact, I didn't go queen d5. I went queen h5 actually in the game. I chose queen h5, and queen h5, guys, is actually in hindsight a blunder. I mean, it's a blunder. It's a blunder, and I'm not a losing blunder, but a drawing one. Because he's supposed to go rook c2, which I did see, and then I probably was going to go queen d5 or like f5 and expand. He's supposed to play rook c2. He's supposed to play rook to c2 to defend. What's my threat? Let's say he's not paying attention, but then we just going to snap here and tell him have a nice day, right? You know, like have a good one, my guy. Appreciate you, dap him up real quick, you know, like appreciate you, you know, that's it. Because that's it. But after queen h5, rook to c2 is better because he defends. But instead, and I'm sitting here like, I'm like thinking to myself, like, bro, please just play rook f2. Just play rook f2, my guy. Bruh. Come on, man. Just do it. That's what I'm saying in the back of my head, bro. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Bruh. Just do it. Just do it. And then he plays rook f2, and I'm like, oh, snap. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Like, he plays rook f2, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe he plays rook f2. I cannot believe it. I'm literally shaking. Because why? Because let me tell you something. This is the first time where, look, I'm about to beat a grandmaster over the board. My first one ever over the board. I have drawn grandmasters over the board. I've done that. But when you've never beaten one, you're like, yo, when is that day going to come? When is that day going to come? And when you do that, you get that taste of that victory, then you start to do more of it. And then more of it, it becomes a regular thing. Right. Now, guys, find the sequence here. After rook f2, what happens? After rook f2, what happens? What happens? Find it, chat. What is it? Why did I want him to play rook f2? Why was I freaking out and my hand was shaking when I was about to play queen d1? Do you know how many times I looked at this before I played this move, guys? I played this sequence of moves like my face was about this close to the board, guys. I'm looking at the board like this. Like I can smell the top of the queen. I can smell the top of the queen, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Bruh. Because I'm looking to make sure that this is not wrong. I'm not wrong, right? And I go queen to d1 because he can't block with the knight. And he can't block with the rook because he goes king g2 only move. And then what, chat? Now, again, I'm sitting like, yo, man, that's a very nice carved rook, you know, because I'm like, I'm on them rooks. I'm looking so close to make sure that I don't mess this up. I don't mess this up. What do you do now? Like to move, chat. Take the horsey. Okay, take the horsey. All right. Rook takes and rook to g4. Okay. Rook takes c3. Now, in fact, rook takes h2 does mate, but I wasn't trying to play around with that. I saw a quicker mate, which was rook to g4. I played rook g4, and when he took on g4, which way do you take, chat? In fact, you take with the rook or the queen? Rook or the queen? Which way do we take? Do we take with the rook or the queen? I see queen, I see rook, I see queen, I see rook. Queen, 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 queen g4, queen, rook. Oh man, you know, I just gotta put this in the chat for y'all. Oh my goodness, that hurts. And then king h3, and you better, you better find the right moves, because if you don't, you are in trouble right now. So in fact, it's queen takes, which is more forcing, and after queen takes g4, Mark Paragua resigned, and I beat my first GM ever over the board this year, 2022. What it do? Let's get some hype in the chat. Oh my goodness! With the Kings Indian! It was the Kings Indian defense for the win. Kings Indian defense, right? And this is Super Saiyan Tao, guys. This is my best game ever. I mean, I would say, because I mean, it's the first time I beat a GM. So when you can do it once, now you're like, I can do it again. I mean, that felt great. Now you want to do more of it, right? After king f1, rook h1 is mate, right? But he just resigned after queen takes g4. Great game. Big shout out to Mark as well. But I mean, super strong. And I was just, hey, it just worked out here. It literally just worked out this game. I was able to do it. Stuff worked out. Your man's beat my first GM over the board ever, right? So hopefully y'all enjoyed this. This Kings Indian defense. This was a big game. And, you know, we're going to analyze round 3 tomorrow. Make sure y'all sub to the YouTube.